Tea Talk, Real Talk, where we talk about different issues that matter. And today we have three great gentlemen from Trenton, New Jersey. We have Stacy Heading, we have Bruce Boyd, and we have Darren Freedom Green.
You got it.
So I'm really, really honored to have these three outstanding gentlemen here with me today on my show. They're doing such great things in Trenton for the youth. So, you know, any of you guys can just take it away and let us know the steps that you're taking to get to this part in your life with giving back.
Start that thing off, Steve.
You know how we say.
Well, you know, we're all one.
Right.
Like we've moved into
Definitely.
a place now where even in conversations, people think we compete Seeds versus Boyd, but we complement each other. You know, we continuously strive to enhance each other, support our work because we're products of great foundations. We have great foundations in terms of our parental structure, having mothers and fathers, and that's kind of been the foundation of why we move in the manner that we do.
Right.
Knowing how blessed we were or are, we strive to deal with the young people in our city and allow them to establish the foundation they're lacking on through us. So we're just like three walking physical testimonies of what can be if you consciously give thought to what you are and what you need to be.
Right.
All right?
Nice.
That's good. That's good, Freedom. Because, I mean, one of the things Mr. Freedom, he touched on was getting parents involved. And Boyd and the Seed Male Mentoring Program, that's one of the things that we do. We make sure as we start to be a part of the young men's lives that their parents are also involved in this whole process.
Right.
So together we're walking this journey together because you can't do anything without
That's
parents.
right.
Exactly, and you know that's what I think is extremely important that people don't realize. We try to offer these programs to the children, but it has to be a family program.
No doubt.
Because if you teach the children and the parents that they don't know, who is going to reinforce it at home?
Right.
So I just love that, you know, all these programs that you guys have, you have some amazing programs that you're having the parents also involved. So that's really, really a wonderful step.
No doubt.
You know?
No doubt. I don't want to chop it up. Let Bruce get something.
So yeah, when we first started out, I think for Boyd, we were just that organization to say we want to save our youth. However, we found that in saving the youth, we had to come back and get our parents involved. And it was a blessing because parents didn't know about the internet 10 years ago. They were allowing their kids on, that point it was MySpace. And so we had to educate them on what was going on, what was the cyberbullying and what kind of pictures were out there. So from there, we just morphed it into not just teaching our young men and women, we wanted to make sure our parents were on board as well. And that's key to any organization that you're going to have, that you have to have. I like to call it 360 degrees of the child. So that encompasses the school, that encompasses the community, that encompasses the parents, and then whatever organization it is. Not any of those organizations or entities could be left out when raising these young
you
people.
need balance. It has to be a balance. So, like you said, the 360.
Yes.
Now, how long has your organization been around?
This is actually our 10th year.
Wow.
This is our 10th year. And it's turning out to be a phenomenal year for us.
Nice.
We've been doing a lot of different things. We're actually going on a job shadow to Microsoft.
Yes, I saw that.
We're going on a job shadow to NJBIA, insurance, banking and insurance. We did a job shadow at a local eatery at Thomasina's in Trenton, which was, you know, why are we doing these things? Because we want students to equate what education looks like. You know, most of the time you ask the child, why are you in school? To get an education. Well, what does an education look like? You know, and then they're stumped. So when we go on these business job shadows, they get an opportunity to see whether, when we did one at Best Buy, whether you're the cashier, whether you're the department manager, whether you're the store manager, or whether you're the general manager. Now, all of them have a level of education, but where do you want to fit in at? Where do you see yourselves?
Right. And when going there, they see it.
Right.
They see the vision.
Right.
And now that they've seen that vision, when they get back home now working with that 360, you know, now we can take those steps to get there.
Exactly.
So instead of, I mean, I like when people are coming in, they do the career days and you're talking to the kids,
Yeah.
but that's just so limited.
Exactly.
So I love that
Exactly.
new concept that you guys are going out to these different places and they can see the different levels, you know.
Right.
So everybody doesn't want to be at the same level. Some people just want that easy job where it's 9 to 5, that I'm having any headaches, they just go there and come home. And then other people want that top management job.
Exactly.
So I think it's wonderful that,
But one of the things we do with Boyd and Seeds as well is we don't even teach the babies to get jobs. You know, that should be their last initiative. You know, really we allow them to understand, use the acronym my man Rob Matlock teaches Boyd, just over broke. And you're continuously living in a state of mind where you're surviving.
Right.
So we make sure they understand and appreciate and value education and what levels it can get you to. And because I'm an articulate individual, humbly speaking, I let them know there are doors that I can see, but I can't tangibly go into because I wasted time when I was their age and did not maximize my educational opportunities. So now, at the age that I'm at now, I'm still trying to play catch up. But there are doors that I should clearly be able to get into if I was educated. So when we move out, you know, when Siege does his programs, when Boyd does his programs, we move with the parents and the child. Because again, many of the young parents who everyone loves to talk about and demean and disrespect and write off, if you don't engage them and allow them to be exposed as well, then you jewel, teach, nurture, and develop the child in front of you. But they go home to a filthy environment, not filthy physically, but filthy mentally and spiritually. And then that parent usurps everything you poured into that child subconsciously, not knowing it. So now we challenge the parent to educate and enhance themselves as well. And when they see their child shining, that becomes the spark. But the core, and Stacy and Bruce and I always say this, they gotta know you love them. Once people know you love them, they will walk through walls for you. And the walls they often come through now are the barriers of poverty. No, you can do it. We're going to help you do it.
Exactly. And then a lot of times you do have parents that are not educated, and because their lives were not, you know, peachy creamy, basically, where the parents are there and they're showing love. If they weren't given love, how can they now show love? So it's so important to teach the parents, I think, more so. Because again, how many of them had those missed opportunities? So it's the key to success in having some children that are going to move ahead. You know,
I think what's also great about when you look at us three here is we have relationships with a lot of the parents in the community. So it's funny, and I know Bruce and Darren experienced this, when we're talking with the kids already know about us. You know, and they're not going to tell you. They already know because their parents already say, I know that guy. They're good ground. They're good kids. So that's why we start teaching them early about, you know, you may make mistakes, but don't be grimy. What do you mean by grimy? You know, we just mean like, you know, going over your friend's house and you're known for stealing and going in their pocketbooks and some of that stuff just stick with you. You can't get rid of that. So, you know, we all make mistakes.
No doubt.
We were all just respectful, good people. And that's what we teach the kids, like just respect and how far that can get you in manners and people will want to do things for you.
That's right.
Yeah, we talk about that all the time.
We just did this college tour. You know, it's funny. Bruce and myself, two different things. We were going on college tours on the same day.
I saw that. I was on
Didn't
Facebook
talk
and
about
saw
it.
that.
Like mine. This is where we are.
Yeah.
He took a group of kids and parents on a college tour, and I took a group of young men with the mentors, and we went on a college tour. Same day.
I know. That's
and
amazing.
one of the things that was great, you know, what I wanted to bring out in the college tour we went to was, like we talk about supporting our local restaurants, and Isla Mae's, a restaurant right there. And Trenton, you know, prepared the breakfast for our young men.
That's right.
So what she did was I gave her a list of the names with the young men with their breakfast, and she put all their names on in the bag. And that was good for me because sometimes they get all mixed up. Something good turns into something just horrible. And you know, she lined them up and said, "Okay, come get your breakfast." And she said their names and they get their breakfast, and these kids said thank you. So they just saw the community all come together. This lady supporting us, opening up early to bring breakfast for our young men, and then we're going off to the college tour. But when we got there, we had some time to kill after the college tour because we were going to a step show, and we had lunch, and we were next door to this local barbershop in the neighborhood.
Okay.
And these Dominican guys had a barbershop there, and they just started seeing the way me and Brother Solomon started interacting with them and developing this relationship and this friendship. And he said, y'all come on in, and I'll give y'all discounted haircuts.
Right.
So we brought the young men in there, and at first only 2 wanted to get a haircut. But when they saw the first 2
They were like,
looking
wow.
all good and sharp, now everybody wanted to go. I'm like, wait, we ain't had that much money. You know, I was thinking 3 or 4, but that was an experience in itself, you know, and just all of them getting the haircuts together, jumping in different barber chairs, and they just created some unity and some affection just in that alone, you know?
Yeah. And what I love about you guys, you're not in it for the praise. You're in it from your heart. You know, and I see that. I mean, I'm on Facebook looking at it, and I'm like, wow, these guys, they are real. You know, they really want these children to be successful. And like you said, the key is letting them know that they are loved.
That's right.
Because if you don't feel love, you can't get anywhere.
That's it.
And also, like you said, respect.
Right.
Respecting yourself. You know, we talk about that because I do the workshops as well. And the key is saying, look in the mirror and tell yourself, I love you. You got to say it every day. If you don't say it and feel it, you know, so, you know, I see all of you doing so many things. You are like endless with the kids. Always running to so many places. I'm like, does he ever have a life with his family or downtime? Do you guys ever stop?
Yeah, we do. I know Bruce and I know Freedom, because you talk about me and then and Freedom's all over the place. But see, Bruce and I are married.
We got to have that balance.
But we find that balance. So even though it looks like that, we definitely do. We find that balance with the family. I'm sure you can talk to our wives and they know, like, you know what? Because they'll let us know.
I know. Time
they keep
to
the balance. There you go.
So
and it's good for the kids to see that. You know?
And I mean, you guys have won so many awards in the neighborhood for all that you do, and it's just, you know, I'm just really, really thrilled, and just wish that more people would be like you guys, because it's so important. There's a lot of people that are successful, and there's different levels of success, and success is different to each of us. But I just see sometimes that people have this money and have the time, and they're not ever giving back. And I'm like, how could people not give back when they see that there's so many in need?
You know what happens? You know? I want to let Bruce get something too. You know what happens, and it's funny. I was just talking about this. When you arrive into an area where you come from poverty-based conditions to being affluent and you're successful, you actually grow and develop a disdain for where you came from. And they will give back sometimes, but it has to always be a photo op or some opportunity to be seen. Somebody was talking to me the other day about Kevin Durant, beautiful brother, and you can see he's well-grounded, loves his mother, the whole nine. But when the issue came and the catastrophe occurred and he gave $1 million to the Red Cross, my mind immediately said, every player that's on his level, and there are a bunch of them, could come back every year and give $1 million to the city they came from. And they use it not only as a tax write-off, but how many organizations like Boyd and Seeds would benefit, and we don't even need $1 million. You know what I mean? I'm taking about at least 6 figures. But I'm just saying, that could be the mindset. And these are people who, at some times in our community, end up making 14, 15, 16 million a film, a show. So at what point do you begin to say something needs to be given back? And these are the same people who get all kind of humanitarian awards, but aren't humanistic in their manifestations of life and reality. And at some point in time, people have to stand up. So no, we don't look for photo ops or awards. We strive to be a reference point for other people in our community to align, mobilize, and build, so we can have something. Unfortunately, all of us don't have that money like that.
Exactly.
That's good.
I mean, I think when you can get the children in your community to see that giving back, even if you don't have, because, you know, sometimes in life you don't always have. And so no matter what, you can still give. You can share. Because if you give, you know, it's going to help spread the love to other people that really need it. And if more people would take that and think about it, you know what, I don't have much, but let me just share with someone that is in need. Because we all think, oh man, I'm going through so much. But there's someone that's going through worse. You know, much worse. So it's always good to look out for other people.
That's how we wake up. I wake up like that, thinking about what can we do? And the job shadows, you know, as a nonprofit, when you talk to big business, the first thing they say is, well, I don't have any money. First thing my retort is, I don't want your money. I want your time. Because for me, if you can't give me $10,000 or $5,000, but you can open up your business to our kids,
it's equal.
That's so much more.
Yes,
the experience
yes.
of that is so much more.
Yes.
And then in the same realm of giving back, Stacy and I teamed up with Trenton Housing Authority, and we went into one of their projects, and we cleaned it up on a Saturday morning. So our kids were just like, well, why are we? Because some people are a little less fortunate than you. But what that did was the neighbors saw these young kids out here cleaning up their mess. It sparked something in them, some pride in them that says, hey, you don't got to come in our neighborhood. So they developed block captains, and they started to clean up their own mess and make their kids accountable. And those are some of the small things that you can do, and our kids can come back and say, wow, look what we started.
Yeah, when you can see, you know, things that you've done, like you reap what you sow.
Right.
So if you take care of yourselves, that's going to be so much better for everyone else. You know, you have to really be thoughtful and mindful when you're doing things, that you have to think about other people.
Exactly.
That has to be taught.
Yeah,
it does.
It does.
It does.
Like you said,
and Bruce and I talk about that all the time. We take for granted, or we assume people were nurtured like we were.
Right.
And they're not. This young generation has internally been taught to be self-centered, and that's how they move and operate, and it's really based off survival. So where we would give and constantly give and give, all they know is to take, and it's because they're just trying to get enough to get through, and it's the reference point of everyone around them. So when you begin to nurture and develop that by physically doing it, now I'm not just telling you to give, I'm doing it by life example.
Exactly.
You know, so, and again, the other piece that you pointed out, Bruce and Stacy are married. I want no parts of that. The other piece is they're examples for other men, and I'll be specific, black men in our community who can show that you're married, but you're also giving back to your community, and it's an extension of the bigger family. You know, so it's a beautiful thing. And again, they're not talking about it. When you see them, you have to respect that they're balancing their lives. And I know it's a lot of single brothers like me who are on the sidelines. So where are you at with it? What's your responsibility to it?
And let me add in on this what you know, my brother was just talking about. When we talk about the community service, and this is how me and Darren first really started connecting, was, you know what, when we go out to do it, I need someone, because we operate on each other's strengths. And I'll say, man, I need someone to really come and talk to them and allow them to see, you know what I'm saying, what it is that actually what they've done, you know. So I'm in it, you know, so for instance, we did the West Ward Center with Isles, and we remodeled the whole interior of the West Ward Center. Once the project was finished, it took us about a couple of weeks, and Zachary came out, the councilman from West Trenton came out, and a couple contractors came out also and worked with the kids. I called Freedom and I said, Freed, listen, this is the last day we're gonna have food, we're gonna have pizza. I just want you to come in here and talk to them. And man, Freedom came in and just talked to them, you know, allow them to see what it is that they've done for their community, allow them to understand the whole plan of keeping it that way. And it was just a wonderful thing. And remember the young man stood up and said, man, you know, I was in here painting yesterday, and they raided the house, and everybody in the house got locked up. But I wasn't there. Not that I was part of it, but I just wasn't there. But I was here doing my work. But that was after we were talking to him and just debriefing. And he just started opening up. So it's just a good thing when they do the community service and doing things in the community to also have a debriefing moment where you just sit down and let them internalize what it is that they've done. Because you can't assume they know what they've done.
No, you
really don't, you know, and let them know you did a wonderful thing.
Yeah, no, that's powerful. Really powerful. But like again, you know, when they do things for themselves, because you know, when you give and give and give, like even if to your own children, you know, you do for them all the time. When they start doing for themselves, just like even you're gonna help them pay for college. Sometimes you gotta let them pay for college. You know, or put some input into it. So now they can appreciate it. You know, because you can't. You know what I mean? When if somebody does for you all the time, how are you gonna appreciate it?
No, and you don't
understand
and you don't appreciate it. But the other piece is, and this is why Bruce and I are so tight. I'm not the organizer. I just bring the fire. He organized. Like, he can write up a contract in like 2 seconds. I can tell you the specifics of that contract and how it benefits. So again, like Stacy said, we feed off each other's skill sets. And too many times, that's why I love him, in business, we really don't know what business is.
Right.
And if you've never had anybody walk you through it,
Right.
then you don't understand the complexities
Right.
of it. And you become accustomed to, I hate using the word, but bootleg,
Right.
dysfunctional,
Right.
and that becomes your norm.
Right.
So now in an individual, a reality where you're looking to be normal, you're really abnormal and don't know it.
Right,
He'll
right.
sit me down and
Right.
say, no, we can't do that because we gotta do this.
Right.
And this
Right.
needs to be done because
Right.
of that. And I don't get
Exactly.
mad because I don't know that.
That's your
Right.
And I just want to come in the room and start
Yeah.
starting.
Right,
It's
right,
like,
right.
yeah, but we got to set up 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Right.
you need
Exactly.
people in your circle who
Exactly.
enhance or,
Definitely.
elevate your skill set
Definitely.
to make you more holistic.
Exactly.
Right.
And I think that's a beautiful thing. Bruce, Stacy, I love working with. Like whenever Stacy does his programs, I already know my assignment.
Right.
I just need to know what time I go on.
Right.
Because
Exactly.
I'm there to make his program and what he's doing elevate.
Right.
And that's what you're talking about, that support base
Right.
where you have a group of individuals and it's 3 people sitting here,
Right.
but it's really only 1.
Right.
Right. Right.
Love that.
Yeah, that was
Love
good.
that
Yeah.
philosophy. You know, because a lot of times people think that they're so smart, that they know everything. And the fact that you know what your weaknesses are and someone else will come in and enhance it to
Right.
make
Right.
you one,
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well
Yeah.
said.
Yeah.
Well
I
said.
just need to throw in with Boyd. It had started out with myself at the time, my girlfriend, who we eventually got married with the group.
Right.
We had a baby with the group.
Right.
So we became a family
Right.
With
and
the
so-
group.
With the group.
Right.
So you see 3 men, but we have some powerful women as well. And
Yes.
No
my wife, that's the balance.
Right,
Like she
right.
comes in, she talks to our young ladies, and we have a balance. We have Jessica Desmond. She's part of it. We have Wendy Dean. She's a part of it. So we do have the woman component as well. But it's one of these things where you find passionate people who just need that avenue.
Yes.
They needed an avenue to say, hey, here's something that I can give back to.
Right.
Here's something that I can enhance.
Right.
Here's something that when you're lacking something. So we start out with boys, and then we have girls, and then we have the girls were separate from the
Yes.
boys,
Right.
and then we tried it out
Yeah.
at Mercer County. We brought the boys and the girls together.
Yes.
And then the following week, they were separate, and they was just like, wait. The boys was like, wait. We fed off of what they
Right,
were saying because we
exactly.
saw a different perspective.
Yes.
That you've been teaching us this one way, but we got a chance,
Right.
an opportunity to hear from the young ladies. So we merged them, and
Yes.
it's been really, really good because it's really really a family.
Right.
You know, we just went on this bus trip to Boyd State. And that's the beauty of it. The parents were learning, sitting in workshops with their children, and they
Exactly.
weren't afraid to say, "I didn't know this.
Right.
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 You know,
Exactly.
Right.
I didn't get to college."
Right.
So for them, it was that excitement as well.
Exactly.
Like, wow, this is the process. So it was really really good, and we do a lot of family outings together. We
Right.
went bowling together.
Yes.
We're trying to do some dodgeball.
Yes.
We went snow tubing
Right,
together.
nice.
So we keep that family
them well-rounded.
environment. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
It's not always education,
Right,
education,
no,
education.
you have to make it fun. You
We
have to make
it
education fun.
Yeah.
And I like the combination of the girls and boys because you know what? They have to learn to live together.
Right.
They have to learn to respect each other.
Exactly.
If you keep them separate, how are they going to learn?
Right.
So I love that idea of bringing them together. It's it's awesome.
It is. Go ahead, Steve.
Now, one of the things I did want to touch on was too the healthy relationships.
Yes.
One of the things that Boyd and myself and my man Darren Freedom, and even though he's single, we respect the women.
That's
Because
right.
that's one thing.
Right.
You can't be a mentor if
Yes.
you want to play on these vulnerable women and these
Right,
single
right,
women. So that's the
exactly.
first thing.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
Well, I want to be a mentor and I want to, and I'm like, hey, okay, watch your move.
Right,
We're not
right.
going to have that. We're not going to
exactly.
have no chaos
No
and
doubt.
calamity
No doubt.
inside
Yes,
what it
yes.
is we're trying to do. Because
Right.
like Bruce said, we're like a family.
Exactly.
And so now we can pick up the phone and we can call their mother.
Right.
We can stop by the house. We can call them, and they know
Right.
that this is business. This
Right.
is family. And those guys love their
Okay.
wives.
Yes.
you know?
Right.
And so it's just a beautiful thing. So they're seeing healthy relationships one-on-one. I never forget, I was
awesome.
with these gentlemen, I was at Isles, and these guys are kind of older. It was my first year, and I knew one of them mother, and he said, I'm driving in the van with him, and he says, oh, yeah, my aunt says she knows you. I said, oh, yeah, cool. He said, oh, yeah, she said, what's up? And I said, well, you know I'm married. He was like, so?
Yeah.
You know, but he didn't know. I'm
Right.
thinking he did.
Right.
He didn't know.
Right.
So
No, he
I
didn't
I
know.
know people. So then we had to walk
Right.
him
Yes.
through, but
Right.
not just talk about it,
Yes.
because this guy has been around me for about 3 or 4 years.
Right.
He had to see, because
Wow.
some of it might take a whole year
Oh, no
yeah.
doubt.
It
to change their
takes-
mind, and he
change
was
that
seeing it like,
mentality.
wow, no, he is for real, and that's what we want to show
Right,
them.
exactly.
Healthy
Right.
relationships.
Healthy relationship, respecting each other.
Yeah,
You know, it's not
exactly.
just the men respecting the woman, but the vice versa.
Right.
Right.
Two-way street. You got to give man respect.
Right.
Exactly.
You know, or just give anyone respect to
Right.
get respect. And I did see your YouTube where you were talking to the young men about respecting women.
Yeah.
You're not calling them these names and stuff, you know. And it's just, I think that's just wonderful. You got to really get into their mind, but
Right.
at a
Right.
young age.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to wait till they're in junior high school.
No.
You got to
No.
start from when they're like
Really
3 and
start
4
when they're
years
birth.
old.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Birth.
Birth. Right.
When they're birth,
You know?
nah, for real.
Yeah.
Because something we teach Seeds with Boyd is disrespect is a comfort level. You don't just roll up to people and start being disrespectful.
Right.
That has to be something you're comfortable doing.
Right.
So comfort comes through time and experience.
Yes.
So what happens with young people is, like Stacy was saying, that young man asked him, well, you married, so?
Right,
That's
yeah.
a comfort level he's
Right.
at
Right,
because he's
exactly.
accustomed to those type of
Exactly.
interactions. Now, by Stacy being a righteous brother and having a standard, he established the other side of that.
Right.
So now there's a polarity there,
Right.
and he was able to balance it. It didn't happen in 1 second,
exactly.
but he at least saw, oh man,
Yes.
men do have standards.
Yeah.
And that may be something he internalizes,
Right.
and through Stacy's consistent interaction
Right,
and work,
right,
Yes.
right.
he begins to have that standard
Right.
valued.
Right.
And that's the
Yes.
key.
Yeah.
See, you can talk education all day, you can do
Mm-hmm.
workshops
You gotta
all
live
day.
it.
Until people can value
Yes.
Right.
what you're teaching,
Yes.
it's not valuable.
Right.
And then they can't be a most valuable
Right.
player.
Exactly.
Yep.
And
Right.
just getting away from all the stigma and all the, you know, the things that people think that this is the right way, that, you know, you're not a man unless you disrespect a woman, or you're not a
Right.
man unless you cheat, you know.
No, for
This is a
real.
good thing to start saying, you know, to people,
Right.
showing them,
Right.
you know, not
Exactly.
just talking it, but living it, being
Right.
it. And I just love that. It's
And
just,
it's even deeper because in our community, minority-based I'm speaking now, domestic violence is a big issue.
yes.
And when children come up in those kind of environments, and that's the norm,
Right.
that's what they play out.
Right.
So young men come to school and have no problem
Right.
reaching for the B
Yes,
word,
yes.
have no problem being disrespectful
Right.
and looking to put their hand.
Right.
That's what they're accustomed to seeing.
Right.
And that
Right.
pattern of behavior
Right.
becomes cyclical. Then it
Yes.
becomes the norm. And you begin to think that's okay.
Right.
Right.
Until men say, no, we don't even talk like
Right.
that.
Right.
You know, like I tell them all the time, first you talk crazy, then you act crazy.
Right.
So as soon as you see the conversation get crazy, leave.
Right.
Because when the cops come, you going to
Right.
jail.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, let us know what the BOYD stands for. I just love it. That's your last name, and you came up
I
with a great
know,
name
isn't
about
it?
it, you know?
Well, before it got to BOYD, it was we started a program called Boys of Distinction and Girls of Grace.
Okay.
And people were messing it up, like
Right.
men of this,
Yeah.
men
Right,
of valor.
right,
I'm like,
right.
whoa, whoa, whoa,
Yeah.
whoa, whoa.
Right, right.
So I went to a conference, and it was a book. They gave us a book of maybe 2,000
Okay.
organizations, and all of them had an acronym.
Yes.
And I was just like, well, I wanted to do something that would be, I can memorize it, that it could flow off,
Right.
Easy.
easy.
Yes.
And I just started playing with my name.
Right.
And I said, you know, this could be something legacy for my family.
Right.
So it just worked out, building our youth development.
Nice.
Yeah.
And so it was just, that's what we're doing. That's the action in it. We're
Right.
building our youth development.
Right.
And again, when we start to build our youth development, we have to build our youth development, everything again centered around the children.
Right.
So we build our youth development with our parent academy. We build our youth development with our after school academy where we
Right.
taught and trained after school providers.
Right.
And then we do build our youth development in professional development for teachers.
right.
Because again, we came from this area, you know, so we came from Trenton and we can relate. There's a lot of our teachers that don't come from the
Right,
area.
right.
They
They
hit
don't
29, they
understand.
hit Route 1, and they're out of here.
Right.
And so they didn't understand
Right.
all the nuances of what's coming into you. You know, so if a child came in and they were hungry, and you're telling them to go to the office because they're acting out.
Right.
They're acting out so people couldn't
Right.
hear their belly growling.
Right.
You know, so these were some of the things that we had to teach. Like, you know, until you walk into one of their shoes, you must first take off your own.
Right.
You know, So don't judge them just because.
Right.
You know, it's a lot of underlying circumstances.
Yes.
So building our youth development is, again, 360 degrees
Yes.
of the children.
Awesome. Now give us your website.
Website is www.boyd-nj.org.
Okay, and the two places that you work for the youth?
So the Seed Mentoring Program will be Seed Mentors, so it'll be SEEDMENTORS.org.
Okay.
And then I'm also at ISLES Youth Institute and Family Center, and you can just go to ISLES.org
Right.
and look that up.
Okay,
And,
awesome. So thank you so
Thank
much
you.
again.
thank you.
Thank you. All right.
Well, thank you. Until next time, Sharon Levy, take it to your style.